And we are live. Welcome to week 16, final answer of the NFL season. This is the Sunday Scaries, presented by Cottonwood Media. It's I, your favorite host, the King of the Grove. What's up? And I'm joined by my esteemed colleague and co-host, the Colonel, a.k.a. Sandy Glorious, a.k.a. the Doctor.
Mr. 6.5.
It's a joke that people are just going to miss. I'm Mr.
Everybody
7.
loves it. Okay,
King of Scrapple.
Yeah, baby.
Today we're going to go through the magical weekend that was Christmas football. Start on Thursday with Jags Jets and end on Monday with the Chargers Colts. We'll give you the highlights, the lowlights, the oopsies, and the doopsies. It's going to be some cat noises.
Oh, God.
There's going to be some teams pronounced dead.
Yes.
And there's going to be at least one joke that no one understands, but I will laugh at.
I like that.
All right, let's get after it, huh?
Make it happen.
Bum, 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 bum. Thursday night football. It wasn't the Thursday night theme song, but...
Waiting all day for Thursday night.
I've been waiting all night. I think that's also Monday night.
Hey, man.
All right, Jaguars, Jets. Here's what we learned. I gotta stop hating on the Jaguars.
Yes.
And the Jets have turned into a dumpster fire.
I don't think they even know who they want their quarterback to be.
Well, it just can't be Zach Wilson.
He did get replaced in the pecking order.
By a guy I've never heard of. Mr. Streveler. Christopher Streveler.
The Strev.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What's his nickname?
I think it's the Strev.
He played a pretty decent game. It's too bad they let Zach Wilson play at all. And to say decent, I mean you lost 19-3. But the Jets have no forward momentum on offense with Zach Wilson playing quarterback. And the Jaguars have all the forward momentum for all parts of their team. And they are now securely in first place in the AFC South.
Really? Okay.
They are in the playoffs if they started today.
Very nice.
Because there's another team that is maybe the worst of the worst, and they just don't know it yet.
Oh, they probably know it.
The Jaguars' offense is awesome, actually. They're probably at some point regretting paying Christian Kirk $70 million. That guy stinks, kind of. But probably paying Evan Ingram $10 is a great deal for them.
Big resurgence over the past 3-4 weeks now for Evan Ingram. I think it's a good compliment to how much they've been throwing it to Christian Kirk. Yes, him making that much money was crazy. He had a good season last year, but I don't know. That was a lot of money thrown his way. They need to keep Evan Ingram. He's just a big body. Just throw it to him. Make it happen.
Reminds you of the good old Giants days, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Plus, they got a running back, rookie. Not paying him shit.
ETN, yep. It seems like they're going to be a really good team down the road. If they keep Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Ingram, I think those guys are going to be really big powerhouses for them if they can keep them all happy and on the same team. I think at this point, though, what you got to say is that if you're playing any team from New York, you just got to win. And I guess just the two of the three. New York Jets, New York Giants. You got to win. So
some people forget Buffalo is actually in New York.
Yeah. That team's tough to beat, but
Buffalo should be its own state.
Yeah, they should. They are a rare breed.
like the annex of New York,
Yeah.
Buffalo.
There you go. Subsection, just like D.C., Maryland, D.C. Yeah, I mean, it was a good outcome for them. We know what the problem is with the Jets, though. Offense.
Just so we're clear, DC is not near Maryland.
No, the D.C. is a district in Columbia, District of Columbia.
Yeah, but that's not attached to Maryland.
I guarantee you they consider D.C. Maryland. I guarantee. But don't look it up. The key here is just if the Jets are going to force a Zach Wilson, you know your team's going to capitalize. Just destroy him. Just get him uncomfortable, fuck him up, make it happen, and you're going to win. So
it does seem easy to beat him.
I think the Jets have figured it out, though, by placing him as the third-string quarterback now.
The more he has to play, the more no team is ever going to want him.
Right. So
he would have tricked somebody into signing him had he just been replaced because he had like a bad game and was a little hurt maybe. Not anymore.
There's really no excuses. The downfall was that press conference, I think.
Yeah.
It was just, hey, do you take any responsibility? No. That's just not going to work. I mean, we saw what happened with our previous president when he's like, I take none of the blame, but all the credit. So if you're going to be a quarterback in the NFL and you say those exact same words, almost.
Maybe take some blame or what?
I mean, you have to.
Okay.
As a quarterback, that's the position that steps up in the public eye and says, I got to play better when you start losing. I got to play better. I got to do that. Even if you threw for 3 touchdowns, 350 yards, and your team still loses, hey, I got to make better decisions. I got to stop throwing picks, whatever it is. So
yeah, you're not lying.
From that press conference onward, it was just like the Jets are going to fall. And Mike, the Great White Hope, is their answer, I think, and they just got to get rid of Wilson. So
you couldn't agree more. This is a win that the Jaguars needed. They played like they wanted it, and they handled business in a game that was kind of uneventful. But shouts out to Trevor Lawrence for running one in.
Yes, that's good.
That's cool. He hasn't done that in a while. Shouts out. All right, we have to do it. We have to say something nice about the Jets.
Okay. Is that going to be the theme of the day? Just say one nice thing about the losing team?
No. I just think the Jets...
Okay, we have to.
Just for posterity. I went right to the defense. That was my first thought.
We can't say anything about the offense. Look at all those fumbles, too. That's fine.
I know. It's just no one wants to hold on to the football.
Yeah, what are we saying about this defense? Seems like a lot of players got on ball carriers to make tackles. I guess.
Say something nice about the Jets. Garrett Wilson, when he fumbled the ball, did make the tackle.
Okay.
So he didn't give up.
Okay, there you go. They got a team of guys that won't give up besides Zach Wilson.
Okay.
That's nice.
Say something nice about the Jets. Part 2. Greg Zuerlein still kicking field goals.
Hey, yes, Greg the Leg is
the
still
only one
in play.
to score for them. So
beautiful.
Think about that, Jets.
You got a great special team group right there.
Legatron.
Yes.
Just waiting for him to tear that asshole again.
Yes.
He kicks it too hard.
That's all we can say.
I'll do the scores sometimes. You can do them sometimes.
Sure, I love that.
Okay, I'll do the cat ones.
Okay, you do the cat ones.
The New York, we got laid over in LaGuardia. Jets, 3. The Jacksonville Jumping Jaguars, 19.
I'll let that go because that alliteration was awesome.
That was pretty good.
That was good alliteration.
Game 2, Saturday. We're on to Saturday now, okay? We love Saturday football. It's that time of year where you get a whole weekend's worth of fun. It makes it hard because you got to say many excuses why you can't do chores on Saturday and Sunday.
Ah, yeah. Not a good family team player on NFL Saturdays.
But here's what you do. You get your phone out. You just carry it around, checking the grocery list constantly, watching the Bills and Bears. Let's get after it.
Yes. It was a good game. I think it was definitely a let's prove it for the Bills of yes, we can beat teams. So here you go. Here's a gimme. We're going to win the gimmies. So
yeah, this was a game definitely where probably not very many surprises happened at all. Maybe the biggest surprise was Chicago had a good first 2 quarters and were up 10-6 at half, but you got to play the whole game, and Buffalo played the whole game.
Well, I think this was definitely a weather-based. It's going to be really cold out there. How are people going to do throwing the ball, catching the ball? If you take Fields and Josh Allen, you put them in negative degree weather, I would pick Allen every day of the week.
That's fair. It seemed like the Bills were ready, like very locked in to Fields wanting to run first. All the design runs to him. The Bills were so fast attacking him off the edge, not letting him get to the outside. They were, very prepared. But that's kind of what happens, I think, when you start to become very one-dimensional in your success.
Yeah, in the NFL, you can't have one gimmick, right? Every team is studying film every single day. There's teams that are looking at film for 5 weeks ahead. Trying to figure out what teams are good at. You can't just be like, my quarterback's a running guy, and we're just going to stick with that. Yes, that is his strength, and I think the Bears have finally figured that out, and hopefully they run with it. But once that starts failing, you got to do something else.
Their attempts and completions were very identical, talking about Allen and Fields here, but Allen completes 15 passes for 172 yards, and Fields completes 15 for 119.
Yeah, I mean it's a big. I think it's a big indicator to what Buffalo's trying to do. Buffalo's trying to round out their game. So the entire year it's been Josh Allen show. He's going to throw 4 touchdowns a game, but he's also going to throw 2, maybe 3 picks, maybe fumble it once, just because he's doing quote unquote too much. But if we go to the rushing. Singletary, who's never been known to be a 100-yard guy, got 100 yards, 106. James Cook, looking like I can't even remember if it's his brother or his cousin.
Dalvin?
Dalvin. I think it's his brother.
I think it's his cousin.
Okay. So James Cook, if they get rid of Singletary, James Cook is going to be a monster,
Okay.
I think.
Well, this is maybe the greatest running game Buffalo's had in the last since Marshawn? I don't know.
Probably for at least 3 or 4 years.
It feels like they don't run the ball well.
No.
Or they haven't recently. But for them to have 2 guys almost go for 100, to your point, Cook went 11 for 99. But a total of 254 on the ground that's a Buffalo team you do not want to see. If they go, we can run the ball, that makes everyone else so much more dangerous. So, you didn't get a huge game from many of the receivers. Stephon Diggs was basically a non-factor, and they won by 22.
Yeah, and then, on the Chicago side, do we even know who these people are that he's throwing it to? You know what I'm saying?
I surely do not.
But Velus Jones.
Shouts out to Byron Pringle.
Yeah, Byron Pringle, the fifth-string Kansas City
distant relative to Mr. Pringles.
Oh, he could be the
heir to the Pringle throne.
I think so. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, he doesn't need football. He got Pringle.
He's got chips, man. I think that just sets the great teams apart from the good and below. Is if people think they have you figured out, so hey, we're going to shut down Josh Allen. Fuck it. I'm going to give it to Singletary. I'm going to give it to Cook. They're going to run you until they make you, tighten up, and then we'll just throw it again. So Buffalo deserved to win this game. I think it was kind of a gimme as well, but at the same time, halftime wasn't looking great, 6-10. So
yeah, well, that's the turnover monster. Right. Josh Allen, you got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here, but you got to stop throwing that ball away. Do you think we're still dealing with secret arm injury, or we passed that?
Quite honestly, yes. I think it's going to be something that is addressed in the offseason in terms of like rehab or maybe therapy. I truly think that they should have sat him at least 2 weeks and just been like, screw it. Because I think at that point they were, I don't know, like 8-2, 8-1, maybe even. I don't know. But it could be something that's lingering from there. I think he's just been reckless in general most of his career.
He's the gunslinger 2.0.
But has been working on it and has improved since his first season for sure. So
For sure.
yeah, like you said, just limit mistakes. If Josh Allen has half the interceptions that he does now, I'm sure they are 14-1, maybe.
Maybe.
So
I mean, the Vikings game cost him.
yeah,
That's a game they could have won without some poor turnovers, but you can get away with this with the bad teams, but it's going to be scary to do that against the Chiefs. It's going to be scary to do that against a team that is able to capitalize.
yeah.
Short field, big points. That's kind of the rule. So, shouts out to Buffalo and shouts out to the Bears drafting very high.
Good for them.
Want to ring them up? You want me to?
Ringing them? Well, it ain't a cat, so I'll do it.
All right.
The Buffalo Big Bully Bills, 35. And the Bears, 13. Shout out to Nathan Peterman getting some action.
I was going to make the John Gruden Peterman man.
Shout out to Nathan Peterman.
Peterman!
Oh, man. If he's not throwing 5 interceptions in a game, though, I don't like it.
Although he only threw it 5 times and did throw an interception. So.
They should have all been interceptions. Man.
That's tough. When you can't outrun playing one half of football and throwing 5 interceptions and then like being told, hey, I don't know if you can play anymore.
It's great when your legacy is, I turn it over a lot, so I need to turn it over a lot every game.
It's to be expected. Mm-hmm. You can't get in trouble any more than that day. No one will hate you more than that day.
Oh, yeah.
Here's this one actually kind of interesting. Not for the Browns, but for the Saints.
Yes.
So,
cold weather game.
Yeah, we're still on strike.
Gnarly.
For the Saints. We still don't support the Saints. We still don't root for them because they're still playing Andy bitch-ass Dalton.
Yeah.
And you know he's a loser when he throws 15 times, completes half of them, 92 yards. I'm falling asleep saying that. What is happening?
It could be a case, even though they won, and they're still kind of technically in the hunt, right?
They're very much in the hunt, I would say.
It could be a case of that locker room just feels a little bit weird because Jameis, went out and said like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah, you said you don't lose a starting job to injury, and
so that locker room could be like hanging on by a thread right now.
Well, I'm sure it is.
But I mean, Taysom Hill too. That's such a weapon that you have because you could put him literally anywhere, and he can do literally anything.
Yeah, but do you think he's like the knockoff version of every position and not quite good enough to play the position?
I think
because they never let him play quarterback like a real quarterback.
What Taysom Hill reminds me of is kind of what like a knockoff Christian McCaffrey in a way.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like you can line Christian McCaffrey up anywhere. You can line him up even as like a wildcat quarterback, and he's gonna get something done. I think Taysom Hill is like a quarterback by practice, tight end by game script, and probably honestly should be a like jet sweep rusher by best skill set, I guess maybe. I don't know.
I mean he's big, strong, pretty fast. I guess. I mean he's a real baseball utility guy. You want to play outfield today, you're going to play infield today. Oh, our catcher's down, get back there. But
That's actually a good way to look at it.
Yeah, whatever they need him on a play, he can do. But I just don't know if he's like all that. He's mid-level at all of it until he's running. I think you're right. The more he just gets to run while holding the football, the better the result.
I think so. Yeah, you can't line him up in a classic quarterback situation. I just think if you give him the ball, he's strong, he's quick. It would be good to run him. Like, give him like 5 carries a game. I mean, this one he had 10. So, give him a good amount of carries. He's going to get you a good average.
He's a playmaking guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll buy into what you're selling there.
Maybe even like a more able to throw Devin Hester.
He's
maybe.
I mean, no. Devin Hester was borderline untackleable in open space. He was too fast.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Too quick. But I think he's strong as all get out. Mm-hmm. I mean, that run he had against Seattle was all-time funny.
Yeah.
It's like you knew it was coming, and then he just like plunked through that hole and just kept going. But this is bad for the Browns. They won. They finally got their first win with Deshaun, and then he comes out here and plays like just garbage again. They ran the ball pretty fine, 124 yards on the ground. The Browns stink, but the Saints also stink, but are only like one game back of the division. The Bucks are probably going to win the division, but they could lose, and someone else wins,
Yeah.
I don't know if it can be the Saints, but the Falcons can't anymore, so that's cool.
Those South divisions, the NFC and AFC, are just dumpster fires.
Abysmal.
So, I mean, it's kind of crazy to say that in a division that has Tom Brady, it's kind of almost anybody goes, or it was up until a couple weeks ago. So, I think that says a lot more about Tom Brady than it does maybe about the division itself. But
I see what you're saying, and I agree.
So, yeah, what concerns me is kind of what you just touched on about the Deshaun Watson thing. You just paid this motherfucker buku dollars, and he's been playing worse than his backup. And
he's not showing signs of like getting better week to week either. It's basically the same stat line every week, and it's bad.
And I think it also it's something that we can maybe chat about when we talk about the Broncos too, but it seems to be almost a pattern of shelling out a huge amount of dollars for people that you're not even really sure on. I mean, this guy couldn't play for most of the season, so I wouldn't have gave him that much money, but I mean...
I can't imagine giving someone hundreds of millions of dollars that hasn't played football in what will amount to basically 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. If you got the capital, throw it around, I guess. But
this is why you're the Browns, so say something nice about the Browns. Nick Chubb is pretty good.
Okay, there you go.
I like Nick Chubb. I'm sorry he plays on that team.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper I thought was old, but he's never as old as I think he is. He's still good.
Well, I think one good thing about that acquisition is that Amari Cooper was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to the Browns. So if you decide that Watson experiment is just not working out, hopefully you can keep Cooper happy because, I mean, he's going to be, if you keep him happy for the next 2-3 years, he's going to be 1,000-plus yard receiver.
Yeah. He's kind of ultra productive on kind of a terrible team.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think it's good that the Saints won because it's keeping their division interesting. But it was just kind of a nasty game. It was really cold. It was all fucked up. So
yeah, all right. I'm done with this.
Okay, I'll ring her up.
All right, if you want this one.
The New Orleans Saints go marching in to town at 17, and the Cleveland
They've Browns their pants again.
doo-doo stain Browns with 10.
Wah, wah.
Browns are technically a dog, so can I go woof woof?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. I'll do the woof woof.
All right. As far as there's not more dog teams in the NFL, huh?
Like Bulldogs or something, huh?
It's such a lame mascot, though. That's why every college claims they're
Boo.
the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, great dog.
All right. It is a good dog. Couldn't agree
Just
more.
a bad mascot, huh?
Well, I don't think it's not a bad mascot. It's just kind of like a cheesy mascot.
Okay, all right. Overused.
Yeah, that's all it is.
All right.
All right. We're going right into Seattle and the Chiefs. Okay. Here's how you knew, and check the Twitter log on this one. Pre-game, they're out there warming up shirtless. Seattle is, okay? And they're like, oh, it's less than 10 degrees. Look at us. There is nothing more you can say besides they knew they were going to lose, and this was their last ditch effort to be the tough guy. Okay. Nobody cares that you took your shirts off.
Okay.
Idiots. And the Chiefs surely did not care because they smoke checked you guys at the front door. Gino did very average things. Kenneth Walker, good job running. He's back, maybe?
K9's looking okay. I think they definitely drafted well, picking him up.
DK did play tougher than usual. Wasn't a total baby.
No.
But that Chiefs defense is good and their offense is better. Mahomes played a pretty safe game, I would say. It was slow. It was freezing there, so whatever. I get it, but just throw the ball to Travis and you're probably good.
The Chiefs are arguably the best team in football. Have been for a while. Very well coached. That locker room loves to play together. They all love each other. That defense has stepped up a lot lately. Particularly, I think it was either week 10 or week 11. I can't remember exactly who they were playing. I just know that they did really well fantasy-wise. So I think just in general, that team is starting to kind of find their niche defensively, not letting people run all the fuck over them. And they're doing okay. So, this was there was nobody, I don't think, that we know that was going to say that the Seahawks were going to beat the Chiefs.
No, and we're big Seahawk country up here.
Yeah. I think it was realistic to think, okay, Chiefs are going to come in, or we're going to go to them, rather, I think, right? Yep, it was in Kansas City. Yeah. And we're going to lose, but we're going to give it an honest effort. What I noticed in the game is Gino was trying to squeeze it into places that weren't happening, wasn't throwing it away very often, tried to make stuff happen. I think that there's this little bit of panic that has started to set in Seattle.
Well, they lost a lot of the mojo, a lot of the fun times at the beginning when we were leading the division and we were, winning the football games. And now you can't win the division. You're on the outside looking in at the wild card, and the season is 2 weeks away from being done.
Well, we were 6-3.
I know.
Now we're 7-8.
Everyone remembers. But you know what? They already crushed the Vegas line of over under 5.5.
Yeah. So,
which I thought was low.
In terms of wins?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know Vegas was.
Vegas had them at 5.5.
Okay.
Kyler had them at like 2 or 3. I thought they would get 6.
I had them
or 7.
I have them at no more than 7 wins. So I love you, Seahawks, but I hope you lose the next 2. So.
Well, you're getting a juiced up Rams team, so watch out.
Oh, fuck the Rams. It seems like these guys are in panic mode, and that's never good for a team. I don't think there's no such thing as in the Seahawks locker room, like you lost the locker room or whatever. It's just panic at this moment. So,
yeah, you're gonna get tough. You guys play the Jets next.
That's an easy dub.
Depends on who's quarterbacking, huh?
Easy dub.
All right.
Yeah, It was a good game to watch. Like you said, DK wasn't being too much of a baby, but he's also had some pretty interesting, especially the past 3 weeks, flags thrown on him. Like, buddy, I know that's your kind of niche is I'm gonna throw a fit, push people, talk shit.
I don't know why he acts that way. I really don't. Because he's so big and strong, just play that way and just like run people over. Be the guy you look like.
Yeah.
You look like the Incredible Hulk, dude. You should go out there and manhandle these tiny kids.
It's tough to right now be a fan, just because I think we were just so excited of how they have been playing.
But in the shouts out to the top 5 draft pick.
Yeah. Thank you, Broncos. Thank you, Nathaniel Hackett. We appreciate you being fired now.
Appreciate your services.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely a Chiefs easy dub. We all kind of thought it was going to happen. Cold weather, whatever. Let's blame it on that and move on to the next one, huh?
Yeah, I'm down. This game was pretty uneventful.
Okay. The Seattle Sea Chickens. I love you guys, but what the fuck at 10? And the Kansas City Indigenous Peoples at 24.
Okay, that was not very much hype for them, but
we know they're good. We know Mahomes. We know Kelsey. We know they're good. We know they're good.
All right. So don't gas them up too much.
Yeah, fine. We don't. Yeah, they don't. They are who we thought they were. They're just good.
You play to win the game.
Exactly, and they love playing and winning.
Shouts out to the Chiefs for winning
and
loving it.
Great culture there.
All right. This is your team, the team of destiny.
Who? The Vikings?
the best, worst team in the league.
I fucking hate the Vikings. Fuck you guys. Vikings, Giants, fuck you, Vikings. Shouldn't have won this game. Giants, get it together. Make me sad. I fucking hate it.
How many weeks in a row have we said, how did the Vikings win?
Every game.
How do you continuously do this?
Last week, they finally got a positive point differential.
I know. They won in miracle fashion against the Colts by 3, and then they win against the Giants by 3. You have got, and the thing that's maybe most annoying is being like, wow, Kirk Cousins, another game where his stats look awesome.
I hate Kirk Cousins.
Dalvin Cook didn't do very much, which is tough, but don't worry. It's JJ time.
It's JJ time every day of the week.
I think with Tyreek kind of petering out at the end of the year a little bit, I think Justin Jefferson could get Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And I think we will do an award show prediction before they give out the awards, and you'll see all of our picks for all of the awards.
That sounds fun.
But I think I got Justin Jefferson pretty high up on Offensive Player of the Year this year.
Okay.
Saquon, shouts out. You played a great game. I don't know what else you're supposed to do because Daniel Jones also played a great game. The Vikings defense lets everyone look good, but then they just like squeeze at the end. They do tight butthole at the very end and don't lose somehow.
Which has to probably say a little bit more about the defense. I mean, like, I'm just going to be a Vikings hater until I die. But it says a little bit more maybe about the defense. They have obviously some glaring holes they need to fix in that defense maybe.
Well, I just don't understand it. They're gonna get thumped by maybe who could they possibly play in the first round? Could be the Giants again. It could be the Commanders. They could even, it is possible, get the 1 seed. Because the Eagles are probably not going to play Hurts until the playoffs, or maybe last week of the season he comes back. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to play next week. He might.
So the hot word on the street,
okay,
doctor report, is that he's not actually injured. They're resting him.
I could see that.
That it's just some sort of made up
but they want that 1 seed. And now they're only a game up on like 2 teams.
I think the thought about that rumor for the Eagles is that they are very confident in Minshew covering the next couple weeks.
Sure.
So, and he played a great game, so, you know. But, yeah, I mean, the Vikings do have a shot if the Eagles kind of lose out to pull that first seed out of their butt. So, I mean, you know, whatever.
They could. I mean, they're a game up on the Vikings, and they're 2 games up on San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys could win out, and they could lose out, and I think there's a problem there for the Eagles as well.
God, that division's just so crazy this year.
It's a good division, isn't it?
God, it's so awful.
It's good up top and middling. The NFC is kind of bad this year. Detroit losing was brutal, but, you know, the Commanders are a loss away from Seattle passing them, basically.
Yeah.
The Commanders are a loss away from the Packers coming into town. It's getting scary in the middle area here.
Yeah, the last 2 seeds are going to be very fun.
And as far as this NFC South 4 spot is concerned, you know, if the Bucks lose 2 and New Orleans or the Panthers win 2, guess what? They're in. They're in.
Watch those Panthers. That's what I have to say.
All right. Well, I think the Panthers. I think that's how that schedule works. Is they play them in the last week of the season. Oh no! Right here, next week, if the Bucks lose to the Panthers, very scary town.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I think basically, if the Saints win next week, it might come down to Saints Panthers final game of the season for who wins the division.
Whew.
So.
Wow. Yeah, NFC is crazy this year. I think, yeah, going back to the game, the Vikings Giants, I don't understand. You got
Why are they always losing in the fourth quarter?
the Vikings?
Yes.
Because they're bad.
I know this, and you know that.
They're just bad.
I think everybody knows this. I think the Vikings know this.
Yeah, I think Cole's Cash Kirk is just doing exactly what he needs to do. And, you know, when you have a receiver like JJ, you can just throw it up and make it happen. The cool thing about this game, though, is like kind of watching Hawkinson go from the Lions, where he was basically the stud, not so much this year, but was definitely the stud before they got the Sun God. And then, fuck it, let's just trade him. I guess that's a good idea. I don't know.
I mean,
shout out Lions, but
he's probably happy to end up here. He's making an impact, and he's a good player.
he's a great tight end, incredibly strong, tough to tackle, and he can also go downfield. Fuck it, you can throw it up to him or JJ, and you're gonna get a catch. So,
you know what? Tough to see Adam Thielen disappear, but it was time. It's his sunset.
He's just an old man.
It's his sunset.
Yeah, let him ride out in the sunset.
With a first-round loss in the playoffs.
It's going to happen. It's going to be fun. Giants still keeping the division interesting, though. So,
yeah, I mean, they're good enough to win and bad enough to lose. I'm anticipating that they make the playoffs now. Seeing how it all is kind of falling into place, they're 1 win away from securing a playoff spot. So 1 out of the next 2, and then even going 8-1, they'll probably be in. So,
yeah,
1 win away. It's not going to be great when you're there. Chances are you guys will get either the Vikings in the first round again or the Cowboys in the first round. But either way, I don't know how excited you'll be for that. Worst case scenario, the Packers get in and somebody's playing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Most likely, it would be the Niners, who probably are like, that's fine, but I just don't think you want to see the Packers make the playoffs.
Yeah, not with Aaron Rodgers' history in the playoffs.
He might wake up. Well, I mean, it's not a great history.
No. I'm just saying that, classically, he's put his team on his back in every single playoff game, and if the defense does what they're supposed to do, then they make it far. So I don't know. I think overall the Vikings fucking suck. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Giants in trouble. Vikings mega trouble.
Fuck them. But they're no longer the worst best team. So shout out to
They're the best worst team.
No, I have two completely different people in the best, worst, and worst best now.
All right.
Yeah.
So they're just not good.
They are surprising everybody, but they shouldn't be. That's what I have them as.
Oh, they're just on their own island now.
Yeah, they're just that subsect of.
Hate to see them win when they shouldn't, but they always do.
They're a playoff team this year, but that's all they're going to be. They're not going to be a championship team. They're not going to be a Super Bowl team.
All right, let's kill them. The New York Football Giants. 24. The Minnesota. Huh? Again? Vikings? 27.
Shout out to not having a positive point differential until week 15.
You know what? They're one blowout away from having it all go away.
Oh, I hope so. God. I hope they make the 1 seed with a negative point differential.
That would be impossible.
It's going to happen.
It's not possible.
I'm calling it here.
Okay.
They'll have a 0 or a 1. They'll have a negative, a 0, or a 1.
I'm saying they can't lose anymore to get the 1 seed. It's not possible.
Even if the Eagles lose out?
I guess they're only 1 game back. They could lose badly, and the Eagles could lose twice, and then it would just be tiebreaker after that. I don't know how that would go.
I hope they win a 10-9 game, and then they just get blown out by another team.
Like Cowboys all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's another rather boring game, but had huge implications for the Patriots. Bengals-Patriots, huh?
I love the Bengals.
I do too, and I said it last week that I think they're rounding into form where I'm not sure you want to play them in the playoffs, and they might just put a run together, you know? They're playing with a lot of fun and excitement and magic.
I think they are the team in the AFC. When they played the Chiefs and they won, we talked about it on the Pick'em show. Everything I said was going to happen was going to happen. I'm not trying to toot my own dick here, but what I'm trying to say is that they are a scary team. They're a defense that's incredibly underrated. I think people think they're going to roll over on them, and you can't discount Joe Burrow at all. With that receiving core, it's insane.
It's definitely the best 3 receivers you could have on a team in the league.
Agreed, 100%.
When Jamar doesn't go nuts, it could be T. If T doesn't go nuts, it could be Tyler Boyd contributing in a major way.
Mm-hmm. He's the best number 3 that I've seen in a long time.
I agree. Well, it's funny because he was the number 1. Then they got T. Higgins, and then he became like the number 1. And then they got Jamar, and he became. They're all in their own way acted as the number 1, and so they're all so good.
And I think this is another team, and I think we start to see it in the later parts of every season. I think you really start to see like where coaching and locker room rapport and, like you said, kind of teams coming together. The Bengals seem to be coming together in a big way right now. Obviously winning games that they should win, which is this one. However, New England kind of made it interesting in the second half. But, they're just – people discount, I think, the defense. And then there's also just this rumor or this, maybe confirmed what are we calling that? A confirmed stereotype that offensive line is awful. Mm-hmm. But in the second half of the season, they've been protecting him really well. 2 sacks, you don't love to see sacks, but it's not like he took huge dives. 2 sacks for only 6 yards, not bad.
No.
Just a couple of goof ups. And I just think they're a really good team. They're my favorite in the AFC. I think they're going to upset a lot of people in the playoffs and make some big things happen. So, yeah, it's a good win for them.
They're healthy at the right time. Mm-hmm. They are putting together good wins at the right time. And going into halftime being up 22-0 on the Patriots, it's probably what you should do. They're kind of piecemealed together, but control the ball, take care of it. We'll say it every week. Don't turn the ball over, win the game. But the final score being 22-18 is not really indicative to how it was going. The Patriots tried to press some at the end. Just wasn't enough time left because the Bengals were in control. The Patriots had some fall off in a lot of areas too. Ramondre Stevenson, not a great game, but that's the Bengals defense again. Mac Jones, pretty decent game, really. He, again, no turnovers. That's what kind of kept them in it. If he had turned that ball over at all, this game would have gotten way out of hand.
Yeah, lopsided for sure.
But he did what he needed to do. It was Ramondre fumbling. That's a problem. It was not making the big play or getting a stop in the first half when they needed it. But this puts a lot of pressure on the Patriots and their playoff hopes.
Yeah.
The AFC standings for the playoffs, or the who's on the outside looking in, is them. They're the first ones lined up to get in. And with the way the Dolphins are spiraling, it is possible.
It's definitely possible.
But if they had won, I think they would have been rared up to go.
Well, I saw somebody made a comment on Twitter, and I don't know who it was, but shout out to whoever you are if you're going to be listening.
Shouts out.
If Matt Patricia was doing anything on any other team, they would have fired him so long ago. I think it has to do a little bit with maybe him just like forcing things to happen. So like after about carry 10 for Ramondre Stevenson, you should have just been like, hey, Mac Jones is throwing it really well. Let's just focus on throwing it.
Get some short passes, loosen them up a bit, get a screen. If they're gonna stack the box, if they're gonna come with a lot of blitz packaging and pressure, let's try to sneak one past them for 10, 15.
Yeah.
Soften them up a bit. I don't know, but you're right. He's kind of a dummy.
I think also the problem is there might not be a lot of, and this is just conjecture, but I'm just putting it out there. There may not be a lot of like belief, either locker room or coaching wise, in Mac Jones, because there was that thing where he got benched by Belichick just for like a couple series or whatever. Then people were like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" And then Zappy came in when he was injured for a couple of weeks. People were like, "Oh, Zappy's looking really good," and then he just shit the bed. So
it's easy to be good when no one expects you to be. It's hard to be consistently good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're playing in the NFL, so yeah. I'm not scared of the Patriots. I don't think they're going to get in. I think Miami is going to just squeak by, figure it out for the end, and maybe lose first round of the playoffs.
Just get blown out by whoever is not the one seed.
I think so. But again, I'm a big Bengals guy. I think they're very underrated. They are my favorite in the AFC. They can beat the Chiefs, so that's a scary team. So
that's true, and I am putting more and more chips into the Bengals.
Okay,
that's how I would describe my feelings towards them.
I like that.
I'm not all in on them yet, but I really like the Bengals moving forward.
Good, we like that.
All right, let's ring them up. Yeah, the New England. Boy, it's been a tough year. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
Okay.
Patriots.
Yes.
18. The New England Clam Chowderheads. 18.
There you go.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Meow. 22.
All right.
The Cincinnati Skyline Chili Bengals.
Sure. Skyline. Cincinnati's known for a Skyline chili.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't.
It was very popular.
Okay, fair enough. A little doctor aside, by the way.
Doctor?
Lael Collins is a lineman for the Bengals, if I remember correctly. He is out for the year, torn ACL and MCL. So all those worries about line helping Burrow out, maybe they come to fruition and maybe they peter out. I don't know, but
How
they're still
do
my
you-
favorite.
How do you get your ACL and MCL simultaneously?
I'm sure just his knee went fucking 90 degrees or forward and sideways. I don't know.
Those are opposite directions too, like the MCL and ACL.
Just
hard,
destroyed.
Hard to get them both. Mm-hmm. Unless you just stomp down too hard and snap them.
Yep. Well, MCL, inside, ACL, front. So he probably went
Yeah.
this way. You guys can't see, but he probably went this way or that way.
He did a little zigzag with that knee.
Yeah, and your knee's not supposed to go that way.
You put your left foot in, shaking all about.
Played way too much hokey pokey that game.
Here's the game I at least want to report on.
You love this game.
This is a tough one for me.
This is everybody's favorite game.
This is a double cat game.
Oh boy, you're gonna go crazy
I'm
with
going
meows.
nuts.
Lions Panthers.
Lions Panthers. Here's the issue.
Talk to me about it.
What happened, Lions? Detroit. Come on. We ran the ball 17 times for 45 yards, and Goff was a third of that? Now, this was not a Jeff game. Jared Goff still played excellent football.
No, it's Jeff.
Nope. I'll not stand for that slander.
All right.
But it is unbelievable that all of a sudden the Panthers have the greatest run defense in the NFL to go along with this was the most dominant run performance from a team all year.
Sure.
They ran the ball 43 times for 320 yards. What is going on, Detroit? Detroit's defense went back to the worst defense in the league. Their offense was 100% reliant on Goff throwing the ball. He tallied 355 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions. He was slanging that thing, okay? But, I mean, holy crap. Usually when a team runs the ball 43 times, it's slow. The Panthers were ripping runs, a long of 38, a long of 35. Chuba double bubble Hubbard, 12 carries, 125 yards. Deontay Foreman, 21 carries, 165 yards. Christian who? Who?
And that's kind of the big storyline, I think, for the Panthers is that they kind of unloaded their people. And now they're playing well. Sam Darnold is in, and they're playing well.
He had a safe game that was 15 completions for 250. That's numbers that are good. You can align behind those and say, yeah, that's good. No turnovers throwing the ball. A little fumbling here and there. Didn't lose any of them, right?
No.
Panthers, clean game. Win by 2 scores, you know. If you're the Lions, this one stings a lot because everyone was behind you rooting for you, and then you do this shit. You went full Lion. You never go full Lion. And then the Panthers are like, oh, if only we had won last week and played even half as good as this, we'd be leading the division. If they play like this against the Bucs, they will do the same thing. They will scorch the Bucs. They will punish them. Carolina Panthers to win the division.
Okay.
Fuck the Lions. I didn't mean that. I'm still on the Lions.
No, I'm saying fuck the Lions. It's got to be that defense.
Their defense is, they have good players. You just don't know it.
There's too many holes. Obviously, literally, in the run game.
Quite literally, yes.
But I think the biggest issue with Detroit is, at least as far as I have seen when I watch the defense on the field, they give up huge chunk plays a lot.
They do be doing that.
I don't know if it's going to be passing or running. somebody loses somebody and gets 20 to 40 yards. And it happens a lot.
They applied no pressure up front today, got no sacks, clearly didn't stop a single run ever. The Panthers averaged 7.5 yards a carry. I mean,
everybody will take that to the bank.
That is absurd.
I think the Panthers are fun to watch. The NFC South, what the fuck is happening? It's such a crazy year for the NFC.
I know. I mean, we'll go back forever to just be like, the NFC South, what a dumpster year that is like somehow entertaining because everybody is so bad and so close.
And in it. Yeah. That's the thing.
Shouts out to being the Falcons and saying, "No, I'm not interested."
Yeah, they gave it up. Mariota went home to his kids, so he's just like, you know what, fuck it.
That story's so funny.
I'm done, so we're done.
Surgery time. I'm out of here. Where'd he go? We have no idea.
Yeah.
Not coming back, guys.
Don't worry, coach. It's just for Christmas, and then he's gone. So it's like the dad that goes out for cigarettes. Except it's reversed because he went home to his kid.
Yeah, he's like, I never want to see that Falcon team again.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, heartbreaker for the Lions. People are really rooting for them. I think they got to, though, in the next 2 years at least, they got to get out of that
mentality that
the underdog that everybody's rooting for every single season.
Yeah,
they got to get out.
You want to be hated because you're winning.
Yes.
You don't. The Dan Campbellness needs to step up one more level. Mm-hmm. We need Super Saiyan Dan Campbell.
Super Saiyan.
Super Dan.
That would be a scary Super Saiyan.
He'd grow hair.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine Dan Campbell with mega yellow hair?
I hope he's the kind of Saiyan that gets the blue hair. He's got to go like SS3 or whatever.
This is the joke that no one gets, but I'm going to laugh at. Told you it was coming.
Okay, there you go. All right, exactly. But I think that's the key.
What if he didn't grow hair and he just his beard turned gold?
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be really cool, actually. That would be his Saiyan change. Just a huge golden.
Hell yeah, dude.
That then turns to blue.
So the Lions just got to get out of their own way. They got to play with more urgency, consistency. You got to tie up the loose ends on defense. And I think next year, they're not done this year, but next year, if you don't make the playoffs next year, someone's got to go.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought here.
And unfortunately, it might be Motor City Dan Campbell.
It will be. But I think the good news for him is he'll be like, did you see that pile of shit I had?
Yeah, I mean, you can maybe say that if both sides of your team are awful.
Right.
But that offense is awesome. It's been proven that it's been awesome.
It is a good offense.
They just, they got to figure some stuff out on defense, and I think they'd be very scary. In a division with the Bears and the Packers.
Okay.
That's what you got to do. You got to stop being the underdog of that division, even with the fucking Bears being as bad as they are. Mm-hmm. People would probably, if it goes Lions-Bears, probably people are going to be like, oh, the Lions are the underdogs here.
Right. I mean, historically, you are the Lions and they are the Bears.
Justin Fields is going to run for 200 yards.
I agree.
So you got to get out of that. You got to take at least the second spot next year.
Fix your mentality.
Yep.
Have a winner's mentality. Don't have a Lions mentality.
There you go.
Tough break. Goff. You're still cool, dude. Don't worry about it.
Jeff?
My name's Jeff. It's Jared. All right. Let's ring them up here, huh? The Carolina, we're hiding in that bush waiting to pounce Panthers. 37. The Detroit Motor City Dan Campbells. 23. Meow. Meow.
There you go. The double meow. Oh, God. 3 of them, huh?
That's a cat game, baby.
Yeah. Well, Jeff is a pussy, so.
Jesus Christ, dude. Come on.
No, there's a lot of Jeff slander here, okay?
You want to? You know what? I'll replace you with him on this. I do not care.
Okay. All right.
Probably go well for both of us.
Yes.
You could slander him every day and just pop in here and put this down in the notebook.
Okay.
I could tackle him.
You could tackle Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Okay.
I agree with that.
He's a sackable quarterback.
Sure.
I don't even this game gets 5 minutes because I do not care about
Oh,
it.
yeah, I don't even care. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I have not watched any Falcons games since Mariota stopped playing.
All right, here's the deal. Falcons stink. Ravens played a backup quarterback who stinks. Speed running this. The Ravens ran the ball 34 times for 184 yards because they can't pass the ball.
Yes.
Desmond Ridder played significantly better than the first time.
Yes.
Didn't turn the ball over, but didn't make any great big play throws. Falcons can't run the football. They tried. Mm-hmm. They got over 100 yards on 33 carries. Do the math here. 3.5 yards a carry. Not great. Not terrible. But not fun. The Falcons officially are out of the playoffs.
Yes.
They screwed themselves pretty bad there.
Can't be doing that.
The Ravens are firmly in the playoffs and potentially chasing the Bengals in the last game of the season for the division. We got to hope Lamar gets back quickly. I've heard some rumblings. It might be this week.
Okay.
Might see him on Sunday.
Nice.
Okay. But you cannot watch these games and think, wow, that was a good time. The Falcons are horrible. And,
Yes.
and they're horrible in a way that it's not fun to watch. You guys don't score points. You guys don't really play defense. It was Tyler Huntley. No sacks on him. He didn't even do anything to beat you, to be honest. You just didn't score the ball. Mm-hmm. Say something nice about the Falcons. Shouts out to Younghoe Koo.
Yeah. What a kicker there.
Shouts out to being good at kicking field goals on a bad team.
That's nicer than I would have said. So good. Good for
If you're a Ravens fan, you are happy that you have won some garbage games with some backup quarterbacks in. If you're the Falcons, you are hoping and praying that Desmond Ridder is good, because it's going to be a long time before people think, wow, the Falcons, now that's a good football team.
I'm not a Ritter believer, but like you said, he played better this week.
I just want to see more from him. I just want to see him play a little more, because I don't know what he is.
I don't think they do either. I think that they have a lot of good young talent in Algier and London. Almost 100 yards for Drake London. I think that's the first time that he got anything over like 70 yards in a game, so that's awesome. It'll be interesting how these young receivers that got drafted this season turn out. We got Olave, we got Drake London, so that'll be pretty fun to see how they do.
Olave versus London in their careers could be interesting.
Yeah. What I could say about the Falcons that's good is they got a lot of young talent.
Yeah, okay, say something else about the Falcons. Young talent.
Young talent.
Unrefined talent.
Lots of potential there.
Okay. Atlanta, our season is over, which we never get in the score. Falcons, 9. And the Baltimore, we have a sweet aquarium, Ravens, 17.
Okay.
Baltimore's got a sick aquarium.
Hey, shouts out to DC being a part of Maryland.
Shouts out to Baltimore actually being in Maryland.
Shouts out to DC fans being Baltimore fans.
Shouts out to that taxi driver in Baltimore that let my entire family get in the taxi except for me, and I had to ride one by myself.
You can't go to our state or our country's capital. They don't want you there.
No, we were just trying to get around in Baltimore.
No.
And my dad said, just get in the one behind us and tell him to follow this one. And I said,
That's not gonna work for you.
I'm like 15, and I'm like, well, what if we get lost? He goes, I said, where do I tell him to go? He goes, oh, he won't get lost. And I'm like, you were willing to lose me in Baltimore.
Yeah, well, it's a national security risk when you're that close to the nation's capital. So
That's why they always pull me on a line at the airport.
your dad was trying to get you taken.
He has a particular set of skills that he will not be using.
Exactly. I don't care, he says. I'm not going to be using them.
Shouts out to TSA. You guys are the worst.
Yeah, stop touching me, TSA agents.
No, don't. I do not have coke under my fingernails.
Yeah, please stop fondling me.
First time I got pulled down the line, 18, on a class field trip. Liberty Christian School lines up to get on the airplane, and I'm the only dirty fuck that gets pulled out of line. And you know what? TSA is politer now. They at least say, I'm going to touch your behind. They didn't say it this time, and I got scooped.
Uh-oh.
Like, inappropriately scooped. And why is the TSA guy that's frisking always like 5'9", 350 pounds?
So nobody can possibly say, oh, wait, no, that's the opposite.
Everybody
can say that somebody that looks like that is going to be a diddler.
Yeah, man. They should get, like, supermodels to do it so no one's mad when it happens.
Sure.
Think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Texans-Titans.
Yes, this is a game I'm excited to talk about.
All right, go.
And the reason being is because the Tennessee Titans are my new worst, best team.
Okay. They're bad, though. They're like maybe worst team?
Well, my best worst team is coming up.
Okay.
But yes, they are my new worst best. I don't know what the fuck they're doing losing to the Texans. That is embarrassing. That is bad. You can't play Malik Willis. You got to go look for somebody else. Pick up Nathan Peterman.
Man.
I don't know. This was embarrassing, dude.
This was an embarrassing game.
That's bad. You can't have a team who doesn't even know which quarterback they're going to play on any given play beat you.
Shouts out to Long Neck Mills, and shouts out to Jeff Drippy.
Jeff dripped all over him this game. Fuck.
3 for 4, 40 yards. He's in. He's out. He's just in and out.
This is crazy. This is a fun game for the Texans. I'm sure that locker room was like super happy.
They removed the Titans from the 1 seed or the division lead in the AFC South and took them out of the playoffs.
Oh, are the Titans out now?
They're out of the playoffs.
Oh, shit.
Because the Jaguars are in the playoffs, leading the division.
Oh, that's right now. Yep. But they still have the same record. They're both 7-8.
Yes, they are both 7-8.
Okay. Cool.
So it's not over for the Titans, but here's what I'll say.
Yes.
Remember when all those videos came out of after the combine had ended, Malik Willis stayed behind and picked up trash that people had thrown around and helped.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Whoever his agent is isn't getting paid enough money because he was like, you are a bad quarterback, but we're going to get you drafted on character alone.
Okay.
This kid, didn't he go to like Liberty University?
Yes.
He stinks, dude.
It's been rough. Yes.
It's been 1 week since he's thrown out TD. Can't say I'm all that surprised. I mean, there's a world that exists where he's good, but it's not this one, and it's not on the Titans.
Well, it's clear that his game did not transfer to the NFL super well. So maybe they're going to work on it. Maybe they think he's the future. Regardless of how Malik Willis is playing, doesn't matter. With Tannehill, they weren't doing much better in the passing game anyway.
No, I mean, to be like, Tannehill's so much better. That's a lie. You're lying to my face. He's bad. What is he hurt with? Why is he hurt?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just know that he's hurt and he's out for the season.
Yeah, that's all I knew too. So, T's and P's to their season. But, I mean, does it really matter who your quarterback is? You have maybe the best running back in NFL.
It does matter, I think.
Okay.
Because essentially what you're trying to say, because it's been bad, it doesn't matter who's been playing at quarterback, it's been bad all season in terms of the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that every single team that plays, it's one-dimensional.
True.
You're only going to do well if Derrick Henry is doing well. So stack the box, blitz them, don't let any holes open, and okay, let's let Tannehill throw 40 times and he's only going to complete 15 passes. So now we have Malik Willis, who is going to throw it 20 times and only complete 14 passes, not even get over 100 yards. And also that receiving core blows.
Oh,
so
I like to play the game where it's name a Titans receiver, and Robert Woods is back. So there's one.
oh boy, a 50-yard receiver.
30.
Okay, there you go. I was giving him way too much credit. And I'm a big Robert Woods guy.
I know. Well, I feel bad for him. Not really. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He didn't get a play in it because he killed his knee.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he was so productive for the Rams, and I really liked him a lot.
Yeah, he looked great.
It's hard to see this happen, but, I mean, they paid him, so I'm happy that he got paid. He's just kind of getting a little older in age. He's a little injury prone. But, I mean, Nick Westbrook, Akini?
Akini, yep.
Akini. Who? He's a rookie. Bad. I know Austin Hooper's the tight end. Holy cow.
Well, they have Traylon Burks, who everybody's really happy about and excited about, but then he got injured, and now he's just been injured all year. It's just bad. And the writing was on the wall when A.J. Brown went to Philadelphia. He was just like, holy fuck, I'm so excited to get out of there.
Yeah.
And he was so excited to get out of there. I don't think because he hated Tannehill or he hated that Willis was going to be the quarterback or whatever. I think he was just excited because he's like, this is a team where receivers are going to die because Derrick Henry is going to get anywhere from 20 to 30 carries a game, and I'm not going to get looked at.
That's fair, but
and I'm one of the best receivers in the game.
He was also probably a big aid to Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to respect A.J. Brown as a top-tier receiver. And so if there's no top-tier receiver on that team, you go, well, let them beat us passing. They won't, but oh my gosh. The Titans the wheels have not only fallen off the bus, but there's no spares in sight. They are cooked. They're cooked.
Yeah. It's just very telling that you can't beat the worst team in football. So I think that's really what it is. And not even you can't beat the worst team because they put up a bunch of numbers on you. They didn't. It was 19-14. You just can't beat the worst team in football.
You can't score. You can't move the ball consistently. You can't. If you ever get put in 3rd and 5 or more, you're screwed. You can't expect anyone to make any plays ever. If Derrick Henry straight up doesn't run for 200 yards, you're not winning.
Yeah, it's got to be 200 yards, 2 touchdowns every single game for Derrick Henry, and if it's not, then you're never going to win. So teams have figured that out. If they don't make the playoffs, shit, that sucks.
Sucks to suck or what?
Yep. But I still feel like they are the best team, not the best worst, because they were in first for a good chunk of this year.
The entirety of the year until this exact point.
Yep. So there you go.
I would assume. Well, no, they started off 0-2, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Burnouts. The Tennessee, who the hell am I throwing the football to? The Tennessee Derrick Henry is dying Titans 14. The Houston, I got 2 wins. Texans 19.
God. What a nightmare game for the Titans.
I think the Texans are pretty close to locking up the number 1 pick. They can win as much as they want now.
Hell yeah. Good for them.
Holy cow. Here was another absolute stomping.
Yep, but also another gimme. 49ers, Commanders.
Here's what you need to know. Commanders might be going back to wins.
Mm-hmm.
And the Niners are turning into a Super Bowl contender.
With the last pick quarterback at the helm.
Yeah, I don't know if this magic can go forever. I don't know. Because he's played decent teams. He hasn't played the worst teams. He hasn't played the best teams. I mean, he smoke checked Tom Brady and the Bucs, who I would argue are bad. He smoke checked the Commanders, who don't know if they're good. They get away with a lot because their defense is disgusting.
I don't know. A lot of people shit on Shanahan, especially for what he did the first couple of weeks with Christian McCaffrey. You can actually call that just him needing to learn the playbook a little bit better. I don't know. But what I will say is that it seems to not matter who they put at quarterback. They have a lot of offensive weapons that seem to be on the same page all the time. Kittle, back from injury, looking crazy. 6 receptions, 120 yards. 2 tutties, baby. Debo's supposed to come back this upcoming week. They probably will do like a snap count just to make sure that he's good for the playoffs. But, I mean, you get Debo back. You've seen Big Cock Brock just fucking go crazy.
He'll throw it to who's open. And it was a Kittle game, which is cool. I'm glad Kittle's back and looking prime. He's usually pretty beat up at this point in the season, so maybe getting beat up a little early might be good for him down the stretch.
Yeah.
Play of the game, Ray McLeod running it one time for 71 yards and a touchdown.
It was awesome. It was an awesome end around. It was pretty cool.
He's zippy, huh?
Oh, man. Yeah, he's pretty fun. I think that he's from the Steelers. He played for the Steelers for a little bit. I think he got drafted by him, and then now he's playing at the 49ers. I think they really should have hung on to him because that Steeler receiving core is just awful. But it just is. To me, it's very interesting because they're in the Seahawks division, so obviously I pay attention to them. And again, it just doesn't matter who's taking the snaps from the center; they're gonna be good. So,
if the quarterback is not a total incompetent throwaway guy, they are a threat.
Yeah, and adding McCaffrey was just that's the biggest brain move in the entire world.
It is interesting though that McCaffrey hasn't had like a consistent McCaffrey like output. And they don't even need it.
No.
Which is probably awesome for him because he's like, oh, thank goodness I don't get hit 40 times a game. I don't, maybe come playoffs, he takes a slightly larger role and he becomes, a lot more featured. But you also don't need him to be that. You just needed a good running back to threaten. But the Niners have had good running backs.
Well, I think the thing about that acquisition is that remember how big of a blockbuster it was, and people were like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Whoa, Christian McCaffrey is no longer a Panther. Holy shit, that's crazy." People were just so, like, from a fan standpoint, watching the 49ers play, it's like, "Oh my god, this is going to be so great." Panthers fans very bummed out, whatever. But every single team in the NFC was like, "Oh my god, we got to start planning for this now."
Sure.
So, like you just said, he's a great distraction. People are probably like, "Oh my god, first thing." Niners related, how are we going to stop Christian McCaffrey? They're not saying how are we going to stop Brock Purdy. He was the last pick of the draft.
Right.
So
I'm on board with you there.
It's a great distraction, but like you said, that's longevity too. He might retire as a 49er because he'll probably play for 10 more years if he's not going to get his ass kicked.
That's true. I also think that the Panthers are probably happy with this too, to a degree where this gives them the opportunity to get a ton of draft capital, not worry about having to pay him a metric shit ton of money, and they can move on, he can move on, and they both are going to try to get what they want out of this, a rebuild and a Super Bowl. So the Commanders,
Yeah.
Tough, man. The Heineke magic maybe slowly wearing off. Maybe you aren't who you thought you were. Brian Robinson was contained with the run, but not surprising with the Niners defense. Scary Terry, sick game. And maybe even looking back to last week when they got kind of screwed on that 1 yard line penalty with Scary Terry, but
that was bad.
That was not great.
Oh, my dad and I were freaking out. We were screaming at the TV.
I can't imagine. I don't know, man. This sucks. Sucks that the Commanders are like kind of falling apart and the Packers are not.
Yeah.
Because, and the Commanders could be in the same boat as the Jets, where maybe you just peaked like a year too early, and next year you'll be a 10-win team, and in the playoffs for sure. But currently the way this stands, Heineke's probably not necessarily the guy. I know it wasn't his fault he left the game. He did get thumped. But, I mean, what do you do with Carson Wentz? You paid that guy money.
Yeah, the tough thing about that is there's a little bit of locker room murmuring of, we just love Heineke way more than we love Wentz. Mm-hmm. He's just a player's player. People rally around him. He seems like he's a fun guy to be around, and that buying a pair of Jordans thing is just hilarious to me. I think it's just funny.
So, yeah, I mean, getting benched in the fourth quarter, and now Ron Rivera's not helping anybody, saying he doesn't know who the starter is going to be, and he'll figure it out by next week. That's... You hate to see that, huh?
Hey, shouts out to Rivera, though.
Riverboat Ron, he's cool.
I do enjoy his coaching style. Yeah, it's tough for the Commanders, but NFC East, crazy division this year, just like the other crazy divisions we've been talking about. It's fun. It's fun. Sucks that they lost, but this was a gimme for the 49ers.
It was. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, ring them up.
All right. The Washington Commies, 20.
Mm-hmm.
The San Francisco, are we going to wear our banana hammocks today, 49ers, at 37.
You're not saying nice things about the winning teams.
I can't say nice things?
No, you're not saying nice things.
I fucking hate the Niners.
I know, well.
But they're great. They're really good. Yes.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
Oh, what?
Game of the season. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, NFC East showdown. Beautiful game. Fucking awesome teams going head to head. Great defenses. Crazy offenses.
What are you doing?
This game has me amped. It has me psyched. Gardner Minshew. Do it for Mike Leach, baby.
The pride of WSU.
This was fun. This was a really fun game. I was revved up and ready to go.
All right, walk us through it.
Awesome things. I'm going to put that out there. Gardner Minshew, I know, 2 interceptions, pretty tough. Looked great. I think he's honestly looked great in most of the starts that he's had this season, obviously this one, and then last season.
Well, yeah, talk about a guy that doesn't get to play very often and then plays pretty good when he's in.
And I think that's maybe it's similar to the 49ers that we were just talking about. Doesn't matter who plays a quarterback, you're going to have a great game. So offensively, they just look great. Not necessarily a great run game, but that Dallas defense, they can contain at the line. They do a great job at doing that. Receiving, just you got the best 1-2 punch in Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Like we just said, him going from the Titans to Philadelphia, it's just duh.
Yeah, the Eagles receiving is the NFC version of the Bengals receiving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they got Goddard back. 67 yards, 3 catches. That's a great 1-2-3. And I think they're just a very well put together team. Great offense and great defense. These are just one of the two best, or these are the two best teams in the NFC, in my opinion.
Yeah, you could make that argument for sure.
I would say maybe Cowboys and Niners
Close.
2-3.
Close, for sure.
guess maybe.
I mean, it's absolutely not the Vikings.
No. Vikings at a firm 4 and lower. Dallas. Oh, go for it.
No, you.
Okay. Dallas, you did exactly what you needed to do. Dak looked great for the first time in a while.
He did play very good.
It was, again, not a great running game from them because Zeke and Pollard usually go 100 yards each, or Zeke goes 4 touchdowns and Pollard goes 100 yards or whatever.
This was Pollard's worst game of the year.
It was.
For sure.
Yep.
And it really fell on Dak to throw it around, get the ball zinging, and he was a zinging, dude. Because, I mean, the Eagles' defense has been good all year, so new quarterback in, the offense could have sputtered, but they still put up 34, and the defense gave up 40, so
yeah.
It was the turnovers was the issue, but it was still like an exciting game, of very playoff feel kind of game, even without Jalen Hurts in.
Yeah, 100% a playoff type game, and maybe a look into things to come down the road. The receiving game just went off this one, and CD looked great.
God, I know, that's brutal.
It was really cool though to see CD had just a terrible drop. It was like I think it was a 5-yard slant in. He was wide open and just dropped it right before the half. And Dak said, "I don't give a shit. I'm going to still throw it to him." And he got 120 yards, 2 tutties. So you got a whole group of people, offense and defense, that believe in each other. Dallas, I think a lot of people are doubting them, and I can see where people are coming from. But this is the same thing like when the Bengals played the Chiefs, is that you never know. You never know.
You don't. There's definitely 2 versions of the Cowboys. The ones that come in and barely beat the Texans, and then a version where they play the best team in the NFC and get in a wild shootout and come out victorious. I don't know how much different this game is with Hurts in. This could be an Eagles win with Hurts. Who knows? But Minshew did very well in a spot start. And the Eagles are just looking to the playoffs now. I think that's what's important to remember for them. But you're right. Gardner was throwing that ball.
Yeah, he was slinging. He looked good.
I like seeing him play. He's always fun. Mustache Mania is back.
It is. It's back in full force. Tony Dungy said it at the Sunday pregame show. He just made a comment, and I had to agree with it. Dallas defense did exactly what they needed to do. They got 2 picks, but they also got 2 fumble recoveries, so they were on top of the ball when it was loose. But you have to be a little bit worried when the backup quarterback is in and you almost lose the game.
Right.
I can definitely agree. However, if of all the number 2 quarterbacks, I would have Gardner Minshew probably over everybody else. So
that's a wild statement.
Over every number 2, I'm talking
Carson
about.
Wentz is a number 2.
Oh, I would not touch Carson Wentz in the 10 football. But yeah, I mean, it was one of my favorite games. I watched it beginning to end. It looked awesome. T.Y. Hilton.
I was going to say, shouts out to T.Y.
Big catch.
He showed up again.
Big catch. Right. Whispers that they're going to give him a lot more opportunities.
Well, all right.
We'll see what happens.
This was unequivocally the most exciting game of the day.
Yeah.
Of the year, I don't know, but it was up there, no doubt about it. And the Cowboys really needed this one, and they did not look bad. So
I'll level with you. It might not have been the most exciting of the year. I think the Bills-Vikings was probably the most exciting.
The most crazy, at least.
I would say this is probably the most anticipated game of the year. Because it's really going to signify who's going to be 1 and 2, I think, in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of what I was thinking.
Don't worry, we'll get the playoff Cowboys, and they'll just look like crap.
And they will look like shit, and they will lose. You ready to ring her?
I'll ring them. This
Do
was
it.
This was a good game. Good breakdown, too.
Thank you.
The Philadelphia Mustache Mania is back. Eagles, 34. The Dallas. I hate the Cowboys.
That's
the
fair.
Dallas Shooting Stars. The Dallas, guess who's back? Cowboys, 40. Good win for the Cowboys, huh?
We got to do a bird sound.
It's your first bird sound. You didn't do one for the Falcons.
I know. I should have.
Well, they're dead, so.
I got stuck on dog sound.
Not enough dog teams.
I know. Boo.
Here's another game I couldn't.
Oh, my God. Oh, this was so rough to watch.
Congratulations and firm handshakes to you for like watching more of this than probably
Yes.
any human on earth.
I watched a good chunk of it. I was updating the group chat. Raiders, Pittsburgh. This was fucked. This was so bad. Derek Carr is so bad. The same energy I had for that last game, I have the opposite energy for this game. It was one of the worst games of football I have ever seen played.
It's so soft.
It was just two bad teams playing badly.
Here's what I do know, and I said it weeks ago. The NFL owes Tomlin some favors, and they're gonna finish above 500.
Yeah.
And the Raiders are absolutely out of the playoffs.
What the fuck are you doing getting arguably the best receiver in the league? In fact, fucking argument. The best, he can catch anything. And you're not fucking using him.
Well, it's like
Oh, yeah, you are. You targeted him 9 times and he's got 2 catches. Wait, your quarterback sucks.
Yeah, Derek Carr throws maybe the most uncatchable ball in football.
Oh, wait, whoa. Sorry, I forgot. You're trying to get him the ball. It's just 5 yards over his head.
Derek Carr, someone has to say it. We'll be the first ones to say it.
Let's say it.
He's terrible, and they gotta not let him play anymore. You have to move past this guy. You cannot expect to win anything of importance when he's quarterback. Josh Jacobs should have had the ball 100 more times. I would rather him run 100 times for 100 yards than have Derek Carr throw the ball 30 times.
If you know that the pass thrower is inaccurate, yeah, fuck it. Give it to Josh Jacobs, who's been on a tear this year.
Get sacked 3 times for 31 yards, 3 interceptions. Derek Carr stinks, dude. And I don't care what he does next week. He'll probably be like, well, I threw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. You stink, dude. I don't want Derek Carr anywhere near my team. I don't want him being like, I love my friends. The Raiders suck, dude.
It's so bad when you have your quarterback crying, talking about sleepovers with his friends.
I just want to party.
You have your receivers saying Sundays are no longer fun. I hate them. And then this week, Josh Jacobs is like, I don't know what the fuck I got to do. I can't do anything anymore, and I'm pretty frustrated about it. And when you have your players openly talking to the press saying, I just am not having fun at this organization, you're probably going to have every single person on the offense being like, can I please go somewhere else?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that checks out.
Like, please, Mr. Davis, let me go. Break these chains.
All right, Najee Harris update.
Oh, God.
Still a Najee guy.
I know. And this game made me a Najee guy, too.
He didn't do a whole lot, but that's okay. They won, so I'm still a Najee guy.
He looked good.
Kenny Pickett, whatever. You are a quarterback in the NFL. But the Steelers' defense, it keeps getting better and better, huh?
The steel curtain, man.
It's good that they got TJ. That's good for you guys. It's good for football that he's playing.
The Watt brothers are fun.
It's so there was a they were kind of goofing about it on Sunday Night Football. No, yeah, Sunday Night Football with the Cardinals. They were like, well, JJ might just go over to the Steelers and all the Watts can play together for his final go in the NFL. It's like, that would be brutal. JJ and TJ on the same team. That could be. They could both get hurt in week 1, or they could both play the whole season.
Oh, especially with how JJ looked last night. Holy smokes.
He went nuts.
Yeah, he was the only thing that was really popping off for the Cardinals. I just, like I said, same energy, but reverse it for this game. It was two just AFC clowns.
Here's the problem, though. It's like the Raiders should have just won this game. Carr just threw it to the wrong team a million times.
It's just very frustrating.
The Pittsburgh offense is terrible. They don't throw the ball that well. They only run the ball good half the time. The defense fixes a lot of their problems, but jeez, the ghost of Al Davis is crying.
Yeah.
And John Gruden's still sending inappropriate emails from the Raiders accounts, I'm sure.
I feel like I have to put a little asterisk here on my hate towards the Raiders, because it's not necessarily that I hate them so much. It's that I think Derek Carr is bad, but also I hate Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe it's that. But when you lose to Small Hands Pickett,
notably small hands.
yeah, like one of the negatives in his scouting report was got way too small hands. And you know what they say about guys with small hands?
Can't throw a football.
Can't even grip one.
I would crush his hand in a handshake. I would throttle those baby hands.
Can you tackle Kenny Pickett?
Yes. I could do it with a blindfold on.
Can you tackle Kenny Pickett without getting a roughing the passer call?
No, he's too fragile.
Yeah.
And I'm just an absolute unit.
This was a bad game.
This was tough. This was tough for people to watch, and you know what the good news is? Maybe people didn't watch it. It was Christmas Eve. Maybe you guys were all out doing stuff with your families and friends, and you didn't have to watch this abomination.
Yeah, what a game to end the night on.
Coal for all of them.
Yeah, every single person.
How the Grinch stole football. He made us watch this shit.
Even Tomlin. Give him some coal.
No. His coal is the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah, he has to coach the Steelers. You're right.
He probably deserves the best Christmas present.
Okay. Well, all right.
I would get him I'd get him head coaching simulator.
Okay, that might be a good present for him.
He could figure out how to win that.
He would go over 500 every
year,
every season.
They probably would not let him call the plays he wants, though, because he's too genius. Okay.
Maybe.
The Las Vegas, boy, do we suck, Raiders. The Las Vegas, Derek Carr is crashing this ship, Raiders. 10. The Pittsburgh, we are going over 500 Steelers. 13.
NFL rig confirmed. Also,
NFL rigged.
Just a little hot rumor that I would like us to start.
Okay, yeah, start it.
Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders next year.
All right, starting it.
It's happening.
We'll tweet it out.
It'd be stupid if it didn't happen.
I like what you're thinking. Not even mad.
Oh yeah.
All right. Here come your Sunday updates.
Love this game.
All right, Sunday, December 25th. Merry Christmas. And boy, was it a Merry Christmas for the Packers.
Santa put a fucking 51-point gift under your tree.
Well, we'll get to my highlights. Packers.
Oh, we're going to skip that one. Okay.
Well, it was the second game.
Okay, fair enough.
Packers, Dolphins.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh. Just want to say this before we get into it.
Okay.
Miami. Best worst team.
Oh. Okay.
Best worst team.
Oh, nice.
Those are my new ones. Titans and Miami.
Power ranking shifted.
Oof. Rough.
So when you're winning and then you're losing and you look at the quarterback who throws 3 of the worst passes I have ever seen. And I'm so tired of the internet and Twitter being like, well, if this quarterback did it, they'd be killing him. I'm going to kill him now. And I think he's being appropriately roasted for these throws. He couldn't have thrown it more to the Packers if he wanted.
I think one of them was in triple coverage. The other two were in double coverage. So it wasn't even like a one-on-one mess up.
He had a guy, you're right, on an island, guy behind and two in front, but there's a window. And he's got to throw a seed. He got to dart it. And he just baby arms this little floater. Whee! Right to the Packer. He didn't have to move, dude. And then you get the guy running up the seam, and he throws it right to the inside linebacker, I think. And then the last one was also egregious. He just threw it to what looked like only a Packers guy in the area. I mean, you cannot. And then they immediately go, well, concussion.
Yes. Another concussion.
When was he concussed? Leaving the stadium? Because why was he playing then?
Probably the whole game. Somebody gave him a helmet tap a little too hard, and he threw 3 interceptions.
Raheem Mostert, what a horrendous fumble he had.
That was the game changer. That was where the entire momentum shifted.
That's where they no longer moved the ball.
Yeah.
And then they had one attempt to score, and they bricked the field goal. And, I mean, they lost total control. And they didn't even show up in the second half. And the Packers just kept plugging away. And it's not like Rodgers had an insane game. It's not like they ran the ball like maniacs. They were just average across the board, but were given so many opportunities that it's hard to lose.
This was really tough, and this might have been a must-win Miami game.
It feels that way to me.
And that is why they are my best-worst team now. They have gotten away with a lot this season, and I think defenses just weren't playing as tough as maybe they wanted to or they needed to. But the past couple of weeks, they've started to be like, okay, look at how inaccurate this guy is.
And the crazy part is, like, the first half, he went nuts. Waddle, 143 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 100 yards. They were going nuts. This game was going to be a Dolphins win. And then, like you're saying, that fumble was horrible.
That was a game changer.
And then it was bad pass. Can't move the ball. Missed field goal. Packers score. Packers win. Like, that's the formula for absolute loss.
I don't know what Miami has to do. I don't really know how you can turn it around at this point. I think they're obviously still in the hunt for a wild card, but you can't lose to the Packers.
Not this way.
No, that was a rough one. You can't lose to this Packers team that has been not great all season. So
no, and I would have been like, oh well, Aaron Rodgers is back. He went 30 for 38 or something, and 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. He didn't do any of that. He had 230 pass yards and a touchdown interception. He wasn't notably great. He just got the ball more and short field and got the job done.
Shout out to old man Mercedes Lewis getting that tutty at the very beginning.
Shouts out. When he scored, I was like, man, this guy's been in the league a long time. And then, like, his 17th year.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I was like, yeah.
What? That's so crazy.
Shouts out to him on the Jaguars. That's my favorite version of him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. What an old guy. I don't know. Something's got to happen with Tua. The quarterback's coach in Miami's got to really sit down and be like, hey, buddy, if somebody's in double coverage
and not looking at you,
we can't do it, man. You got to maybe run it or something. I don't know, but you can't do it. Check it down.
Yeah, it's woo-hoo-hoo, man. I tell you what, Dolphins, you've entered Scary Town, and the playoffs are slipping away rapidly. And if Tua doesn't play next game, I think you're in huge trouble.
Yeah. Might be an automatic loss. I don't even know who they play.
Let's do a little investigating. Investigate. Patriots. Yikes. And if the Patriots win, they're going to take that wild card spot from you.
Patriots and Jets. Two good defenses.
You guys are tough.
That can be scary. Yeah, Miami is in control of their own destiny, but they need to step up. They need to stop making those mistakes.
This concussion thing seems so fake to me.
Could be. It could be just kind of excusing the fact that he was making really bad decisions.
Yeah, but with how tough the NFL just got all of a sudden on concussions and not playing, how was he in the game the entire game? And then does a post-game interview and seems totally normal. And then they're like, well, he's in concussion protocol.
Well, the same reason why Jalen Hurts isn't playing.
Fake injury.
Fake injuries. NFL rigged confirmed.
It's like the opposite of NFL rigged. That's like, well, we couldn't have possibly won. His brain is mush.
Oh. NFL rigged to get the Packers into the playoffs.
Okay, NFL rigged. Okay, we got there. All right, I'm
got to get A-Rod in the playoffs.
Yeah.
First season without Devontae, we got to get him in the playoffs.
You know what would be so sick, actually, is if, and I hate saying this, but if they made the playoffs, they're like the 7 seed, and they just go and smoke the Vikings, and they're like, oh, we let you have the division.
There you go.
You thought. All right, I'm going to ring this one up. I'm just mad that Dolphins collapsed so hard, man.
Yep, Miami down, Packers up. Very crazy ending to this game. I did not think it was going to go this way.
The Green Bay Cheeseheads, 26. The, who are we? Dolphins, 20. Yes, I am the Miami Dolphin, yes. 20.
We got to make a dolphin sound?
You love odd animal noises.
I need to do the weird animals. Okay, now we get to your 51 bomb.
Yes, sir. And you know what's so special about this game? It was the Nickelodeon game.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
Launch into it.
So I had the pleasure and or misfortune of watching this game. I'll go hand up. I had the Broncos winning this. They were favored by 3. So I said, no, the Broncos got this. It was my rob the bank pick of the week. Couldn't have been more confident. And they could not have done worse. And Russell Wilson could not have done worse. We had 4 turnovers. We had Baker Mayfield looking like an MVP.
Yeah.
We had Cam Akers scoring 3 touchdowns. Guess who's back? Back again.
Crazy.
Cam is back. Tell a friend. Okay.
Crazy.
Didn't matter who was catching the ball. Higbee had his best game of the year, finally. He's the only tight end on the team to score this year. We had a guy named Bryson Hopkins. Cool. Van Jefferson, I like him. Tutu, fast. Jerry Jeudy had a sick game. Never found the end zone, but pretty sick. Biggest takeaway from this. Why are the Broncos playing Russell Wilson? I thought he was going to be done for the year, and then they get a win with Brett Rippon. They win a game with Brett Rippon. And then they're like, yeah, you know what? We kind of want to do the thing where we don't win and give better pick to Seattle. Russell, get in there, buddy. Come on, dude. Well, obviously they didn't talk to him. They had to go through Team 3.
Right.
Of course, that's a given.
Right.
He gets out there. He got killed. Sacked left, right, center, killed. And LA just was having the time of their life. And the best part was, the stadium looked like nobody was there. Okay. Says it sold out. I do not believe you.
I wouldn't say that.
Either that or all the Broncos fans bought tickets and left at halftime. time.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The funniest thing about this game to me was they do the interview at halftime. And who would have thought that this was going to be the last interview we got from Hackett?
Right.
He goes, "Yep, we just got to take care of the ball. We're never out of the game. We just can't turn it over." 4 plays into the half, Russell throws a terrible interception. And I was like, show him on the sideline. Show him on the sideline. Me mad, man. I also thought it was funny that they kept showing random coordinators more than him because they're actually the ones doing the job.
I think it was amazing and the right decision that he was let go today. It's clear that he was in over his head.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost at sea. A ship with no captain. It was done from the start.
Yep, and he hired a guy to make the play calling decision for him who hadn't coached in like 3 years because he needed somebody to make decisions for him. The hot rumor that I saw that may get some traction, so you tell me how you think or how you feel about this. The hot rumor is that Broncos hired Hackett because the thought was Rodgers was going to the Broncos.
Yeah,
so
I could see that as a issue.
Then it didn't happen. They got Russ. Still a lot of cosigns from Rodgers and from Peyton Manning too. Yeah, Hackett knows what he's doing. He's a very offensive-minded guy. He puts quarterbacks in good position, blah, blah, blah.
Do you think Russell just screwed him to no end?
So here's my hot rumor of the week.
Okay.
I like this one. You tell me how this is gonna play out, but this is what I'm thinking. Yes, this is Russ doing this on purpose. What he is doing by giving Seattle great draft capital here is he's saying thank you for the years, thank you for the memories,
Mr. Unlimited.
He's saying, here you go, Pete. Here you go, Seattle. I love you guys.
I owe you one.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. I know it was kind of rocky, but here you go. We're giving you some big gifts here. This was a big Christmas gift.
That's so funny. Why not? Sure, mark it down in the big if true column.
He's doing, and Russell's doing it behind Team 3's back.
Yeah.
They're saying you should not lose on purpose, and he's saying, no, I got to do it for my boy Pete.
Do it for Pete.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Baker Mayfield won the MVP award.
He did. And he looked great.
And then during his interview post-game, straight up fist fight happening right in front of him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Shouts out to Ibushi. Shouts out to Gregory. 1-game suspensions. And then Gregory thought, I'm not done fighting. I'm going to go fight Bobby Wagner. Which
mistake.
Crazy move. That's a crazy person.
Especially with the game he had too.
I know.
Just all over the field. Doing what he needs to do.
He had an interception. He did some quarterback tackling. He was zooming, baby.
Do you feel like if you intercept the quarterback you've spent so much time with, you guys both play for different teams now and you intercept him, do you think that feels way better than just your typical interception?
Yes.
You think there's a lot of bad blood that maybe got sealed there?
I don't think there was any bad blood. I think he just goes, got him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if we played against each other in a sport and I got you or you got me. It would be,
it's like good buddies ribbing each other.
It would be, I got you today.
Okay.
It would be a good little zinger that you send them a text in a week. You're like, when you threw me that ball, that was funny.
Some competitive fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't think those two have any beef at all.
That's fair.
I think Wagner said as much. But
probably, yeah.
I mean, what do you do? Cam Akers is like, he's going to either screw us for another year or he's going to be awesome next year. But
I don't understand the Rams running game. I don't understand how you can healthy scratch Cam Akers 3 times.
Because we were trying to trade him.
I know, but then you cut the guy who's actually been the better running back, and now Cam Akers is doing good. I don't understand.
Shouts out to Darrell Henderson.
Hey, it's going to be a rough go of things. He's not playing on a team again.
Well, let's find out in the offseason.
Yeah. This was just a really fun – this was the first and only time I was rooting very hard for the Rams.
That's crazy.
I love the fact that they were destroying Russell Wilson. I am a big Russell Wilson hater now.
This is the first time we've returned an interception for a touchdown in 36 games.
Ooh.
Snapped the longest streak in football. So
There you go.
shouts out to Kobe Durant.
Yeah.
Shouts out
He had a great
to
game too.
all of the defense. And maybe I don't want to go as far as to say a half apology, but Nick Scott, you did not mess up. And I did not see the back of your jersey, so
Nick Scott hater.
no, I'm a Nick Scott motivator, some would say.
You're a Nick Scott acquaintance now.
No, I'm not. No, he doesn't know who I am, but I sure know what he is because his jersey's always facing the wrong way. But not today, Nick. That's why you have the heart of a champion.
Is the Denver locker room happier now that Hackett is out? Or is it still a fucking
No, they're in
miserable-
shambles.
Oh, they just hate being there. Hate going to work.
My mom says to me, "Oh, Russell's just not having a good year." I said, "The NFL hates him." And she's like, "Oh, he always seems so positive." And I'm like, he might be the fakest guy ever, or people hate him because he really is that positive and just like cannot get the hint that it's like, we suck. Could you be mad?
Did you see pregame him doing shadow boxing?
Oh, not again.
He was shadow boxing pregame before kickoff.
I tried to explain how corny he is, but it just like
So
it doesn't translate. It's just like this guy is so corny. And then the next best takeaway was Rippon trying to tell the offensive line to pick Russell up after he gets sacked, and they were going to fight him on the spot. So, no, Hackett getting fired didn't fix anything. They're probably fighting each other right now.
Okay. I know what it's like to hate your job. I've hated most jobs I've been in. So to hate your job amongst humongous humans that you want to fight.
And are basically allowed to.
Yep. That's awful.
Love Guru. Fight anyone for any reason.
I think practices are probably awful.
Yes, I imagine that it's constantly like, please stop grabbing his face mask.
Yeah.
No, you cannot tackle him for real.
So Hard Knocks, Denver Broncos next year.
That'd be sick.
Oh man, they probably won't, but
They
be
should.
awesome. Yeah,
Sign him up. Start that rumor too.
Sign that they're going to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, you've got a good rumor mill going
Okay,
today.
yeah, that's what we want. We're Dr. Rumor today. Rumor Doctor. Denver Broncos, Hard Knocks next year. Yeah, this was fun. I know this was fun for you. Like I said,
I couldn't believe how long the game lasted. It just wouldn't end.
wouldn't it? No,
It just wouldn't
seriously. Midway through the third quarter, I was like, "Oh, they should just do running clock." Just, can we go home, guys?
All right, I'll ring this up.
Do it.
The Los Angeles, we're nowhere near the playoffs, but boy, did this feel good, Rams. 51? A 50 burger. The Denver, let's just team fight. The team fighting Broncos, 14.
Also,
The
crazy.
Denver, we have no head coach Broncos, 14.
Crazy that they obliterated the over on this game. I don't think anybody would have predicted that.
The Rams beat the over by themselves.
Oh my god.
I think it was like over under 37.5.
Oh jeez, that's wild.
Also, special shouts out to Kyler, who had to wear this one and did not care at all. Couldn't have cared less.
Yeah, he stopped caring. I think a long time
That's what my mom goes, is Kyler doing okay? I said, oh, he quit caring 8 weeks ago.
Everybody, please check on your Denver Bronco fans.
Wellness check on them.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Russell. Can't wait for next year, am I right?
They all are saying that right now.
Oh, and this game sucked, too.
Yes, Bucks, Cards, Sunday night. Both of them had the Sunday scaries, I feel like. It was crazy.
I hate Trace
How bad
McSorley
it was.
so much. This game was so bad, the broadcast guys were just like, well, it's 6-6. Let's talk about anything but this game.
Yeah.
Nothing. This game sucked. Tom Brady, they just kept being like, this is the first game where Tom Brady's longest completion was only 12 yards. Why do you have that stat, and how is that relevant?
Wow. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then he threw a longer one, and they're like, oh, good, he beat it. He beat it. Praise be, he beat it.
Wow.
Like, they just wanted to make up any reason why this game would be fun. And then the whole thing is boring, and then the Cardinals just blow it. That snap in the fourth quarter where it was like a foot over that guy's head.
Yeah, that
Trace
was rough.
McSorley, fucking garbage.
Well, their center was having a rough time snapping a lot. So I don't think... But it could have been Trace being lined up a little bit incorrectly. I don't know.
I doubt it. It just was sloppy all around. The Cardinals are bad. DeAndre Hopkins didn't do anything, and that's a McSorley issue.
Well, it's another... It's like what we said with Devontae Adams. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but here's what I will say. Hopkins is nowhere near my top 5 anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's been coasting on credit for a while. I don't think he's anywhere near the top 5. And with a lot of these young guys, he needs to check himself. He might be out of the top 10.
With a third string quarterback, yeah.
Well, why can't he get open?
I don't know.
He should
I'm
be
not sure.
he should be open enough that you can throw a ball to
He
him.
had 10 targets for 4 yards. 1 catch, 4 yards.
And the way these balls were thrown to him, we're terrible.
Yep.
Half of them were already out of bounds. There's no chance he could catch it. Half of them, he was well covered and the ball was never getting there. And then 2 of them were just thrown straight into the dirt.
Well, you know it's bad when your best throw of the night was from the punter.
Ah, yes.
That was a beautiful fake punt.
Couldn't have been more happy for him.
Just poop right in the guy's hands. It looked beautiful. It was perfect. Textbook.
Shouts out to Andy Lee.
I think he's the best quarterback on the Cardinals.
So the Cardinals are going to lose the rest of the games this year.
Yes.
Which stings me because I wanted to get the 4 seed and play the worst schedule next year as the Rams. But the Bucks, fortunate, right? They needed this win because the Panthers are coming hot. But what do we do with Bucks? Tom Brady, again, for the millionth time in a row, has been forced to throw the ball damn near 50 times a game. He looks terrible. Everything is short. Everything is lazy. I don't know. Just 5-yard passes, 5-yard passes.
I think for us, we need to remind ourselves, for us, people our age, Tom Brady has been Tom Brady for basically our entire lifetimes. We have been, or at least, for 20 of our 30-ish years.
Yeah.
He has been that guy who every quarterback aspires to. So we have this image of Tom Brady, and then we have this image of guys like Aaron Rodgers too, that it's just like whenever they start declining in their old age or maybe lack of personnel around them or whatever, we're going to be hypercritical of them, I think. I'm not trying to – I hate Tom Brady. I'm not trying to defend him too much there. But
Sounds like you want to take him out for a nice seafood dinner.
I would love to go to dinner with you, Tom. So, yeah, I know you guys are going through a divorce.
It's final. He's free.
Oh, hey, man. Hit me up if you – no, fuck that. I can't even joke about that.
I almost got you teed up for that.
Yeah, you almost fucking made me gay. So, shouts out.
But for Tom, that's probably normal.
I might go gay for Tom.
He's pretty
Shout
GQ.
out to Playoff Lenny. I mean, holy shit. You could look at that utilization, 29 touches. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's probably mad.
You've fucking been yelling at Todd Bowles. You better fucking give me the ball, Rashad White. Who?
There's probably not a ice bath big enough to fit him.
Oh my god.
You even said during the game, you're like, look how big he is.
He's fucking huge. I feel like he's 260.
I know.
Just a fucking Jerome Bettis out there going crazy.
He's running and stumbling everywhere, and it's like, I don't know if I want to get in front of that. There's a lot of business decisions being made at this time of the year when he's running at you.
Right, yeah. If it's straight on, you're not open field tackling that guy.
With that being said, put it down in the notebook. Well, I could tackle him.
You could not tackle playoff Lenny, no way.
What about regular Lenny?
Yeah, you could tackle regular Lenny.
Like week 5 Lenny?
Like, let's say Rashad White got 29 touches.
Yeah.
You could tackle that playoff Lenny.
Okay, got it.
Or that regular Lenny, yeah.
If we ever get the opportunity where I'm going to tackle an NFL player, it's going to be so good for you.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to laugh really hard. You're going to have to sit out for like 2 weeks after that.
If I get the tackle, though, you will never hear the end of it.
You're going to be put on the IR. Doesn't matter who. You could be tackling Andy Lee. And
I would take out a punter.
You're going to be put on
I'm
the
bigger
IR.
than him.
You probably are.
There's no way I'm not bigger than him.
Okay, take a look at the
6'1",
stats.
185. I would kill this guy.
Okay, you might kill him, but
He's 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40. I would throttle this guy. Are you kidding me?
Fucking garbage.
There's no way he has the elusiveness to escape the human cruise missile.
I'm getting the Cottonwood Media IR ready for when you get seriously injured. We're going to have a team of physical therapists and
that's you.
doctors. I'll doctor the shit out of you, but it'll be poorly.
It's fine.
You won't be the same person afterwards.
I'm not paying for it, so it's fine.
You're going to have every injury in the book after that missed tackle. Concussion.
Just from missing?
Broken arm. Broken femur.
Jeez.
Broken ribs.
He's not a semi. He's a human.
Okay. Leonard Fournette, please reach out to us. I want you to run straight on for our friend Cody here.
I'm not talking Oklahoma drill. I'd get killed.
I'm talking Oklahoma. You're right. Overview of the game. Must win for Tampa Bay. They got it. Keeping that playoff picture kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, I would say watch out for the Panthers. They are my favorite to win out and be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I'm done with the Cardinals.
That's fair. Everybody should be.
All right. You want anything else on this? I'm done with these idiots.
No, I'll ring her out though.
Go.
The Tampa Bay
Did you
Tom
make a horse
Brady's.
noise?
The Tampa Bay Tom Brady's.
Okay.
The TBTBs 19. The Arizona. I used to shoot Cardinals, and I think that is a crime. 16.
Like a war crime or what?
I think it's like shooting an eagle. I think.
No, you absolutely cannot shoot eagles. That's a federal offense.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Cardinals,
it might be the same.
That's hunting.
We can kill redbirds like that?
Yeah, I don't see. Right. I think that's just hunting.
Okay. Admittedly, I did not watch any of this game that happened today.
So here's what happened.
Tell me.
The Colts are horrible. Shouts out to Just Saturday for filling in for 7 games he's done after this. Nick Foles is playing again. That's cool. Chargers are just way better than the Colts. Austin Eckler is a better running back than Zach Moss. The Chargers receivers are better than the Colts receivers.
Okay.
Justin Herbert, again, I'm going to hammer the button. Not great at quarterback. Woo. 235 interception. Sacked a bunch of times. Good thing he can hand the ball off to Austin Eckler a bunch. Keenan Allen is back and looking good. And Mike Williams is back and looking good. So, Chargers are on the up and up. I think they're in a pretty good spot heading into the playoffs. If I were to guess, they're in. They're locked into the playoffs.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Scary for them. Currently, they could play the Bengals. I don't know if you are stoked on that, but you're in the playoffs, which is something that the Chargers don't normally do, and they didn't charger the season. I said they would charger the season, they didn't. So maybe credit to Justin Herbert for not Philip Rivering the Chargers.
He didn't go up the river. He went down the river.
He is in the playoffs. And if he does well in the playoffs, I might have to change my assessment. I'll give him that opportunity to change my mind with playoff play.
They'll lose first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe. But if he plays okay, I might say he's getting better. But until then, he just makes bad decisions. Dude, we get it. You're in the NFL. You have a fucking mega arm. No one has said otherwise. You don't always have to make the world's hardest pass. But if you're the Colts, you need a quarterback. You need a running back. You need wide receivers. I don't know if you can get that one draft.
I don't know either.
What aging quarterback are they most likely to get next year?
Derek Carr.
Yeah, you're right. It will be Derek Carr.
It's going to be Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield.
I like that as well.
Oh, man. And that's going to just be a year after year of mediocrity.
Yeah, they'll be bad until they decide to either trade for a quarterback that's 25 or draft a quarterback that's 21.
Do you think that Peyton is talking to upper
No.
brass and the Colts at all?
No, I think Peyton Manning is like, get me as far away from this as possible.
Okay.
I don't think he cares at all.
Okay.
I think he said, thanks for the Super Bowl. Thanks for all the great records and career I had. I'm not fixing your team. I'm 45. I don't care.
I'm a man.
I'm a man. Plus, him and Eli have like a great thing going.
Yeah.
Doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
Maybe the Colts' strategy is be bad until they can draft.
Archie?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's what they're hoping, I'm guessing.
Holy shit. Imagine Irsay is calling Peyton every day.
Yeah.
Hey, did you talk to Arch?
Yeah.
Hey.
He doesn't call his actual dad. He just calls Peyton.
Hey, did you talk to Arch yet? Hey.
Have you told him what an outstanding franchise we are?
Have you told him how much we're gonna do for him if he comes over here?
And Peyton's like, hey, Jim, are you still on that Coke?
Hey, Jim, lay off the sauce. Stop
Jesus.
talking to me about my nephew.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Colts, it's just a bad year for them. Fine, whatever. But the Chargers are on the up and up, and they thumped the Colts.
Which is what they needed to do.
Easy game for them, right?
I would say so. I think this was probably a gimme. I think you could
If
say this was
they
a gimme.
blew this, we would have been hammering the loser alert.
Oh yeah,
but-
for sure.
All right.
Shout out to Nick Foles throwing 3 interceptions. Man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Remember when he won the Super Bowl?
Remember when
You know what's crazy,
he
though?
was the third string quarterback for the Colts?
So, my, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
So this is the funniest part about Nick Foles to me. Terrible. Just dog shit on the Rams.
Yeah.
Awful. And
Right.
we were told this guy will fix it. Then he goes to the Eagles, wins a damn Super Bowl from the backup position, and then is now this current version of himself where he is terrible, terrible.
He is who we thought he was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best thing he had going for him in that little playoff run was nobody cares. And now I think he's like, I need a job next year. And this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief.
Oh man, yeah. He's going to be a great practice squad quarterback.
All right. The Indianapolis Colts. Unlucky horseshoe. Right up their ass. 3. The Los Angeles Boltman. Right into the playoffs. Chargers. 20.
Love it.
Congratulations on recapping a whole damn week of football.
So much Christmas fun.
It was a lot of Christmas fun. I am open to a brief free think. We can do a free think real fast. If you have anything you want to add, that's fun.
Okay, so just parting notes, huh?
Yeah, just go free think. Whatever's on your mind, you can say.
NFL related, or just sports?
Anything you want. You could go entertainment if you want.
I'm going to do a one for me, one for you.
Okay.
One for me, related to NFL. I just really hope that we do something in the draft with our picks that we are going to be having for Denver for the longest time.
Okay.
I just really want to draft well. I don't care who we draft. Let's just maybe go a little bit more defense, but I really hope we draft well. One for you. Like I said, first time I have ever rooted for the Rams. They looked awesome. They gave Russ a big ol' L.
Just imagine if you rooted for him all the time.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well, the offer stands.
So one for you is you guys figured it out. You put the pieces together after all those injuries and dropped a fucking 50 bomb on a team.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be the scariest defense in the NFL.
That's the funniest part. And you know what? You're just happy that you got a better draft pick out of it.
Yes. So, yeah, one for both of us.
One for both of us. One for all?
One for me and one for you and one for the whole crew.
All right. But not Kyler.
But not Kyler.
Shuts out.
-2 for Kyler.
Yeah, we took his.
Yep.
My final thoughts are next week we'll have a setup that has video 100%.
Ooh.
We are ready to do video, which should really, you guys will love every Trump impression you do where you do hand motions that make almost no sense, but it'll really translate well through video.
Yeah.
And as always, we'll be looking for the next greatest topics after football ends. And we're really fired up now. We're going on all cylinders. Okay.
Excited for the new year.
Excited for the new year. New Year's resolution. Never doing one.
Okay. I like that New Year's resolution.
Get owned. I can't lose.
All right.
All right. That's all from me.
That's all for me. We love you guys. See you guys.
See ya.